right, people. Lesson 5 here for the trombone. Today, what we're going to focus on is learning how to count note values. In the previous lessons, I had just a simple down arrow for each beat of the measure, whether you have a whole note or a whole note rest or half notes or whatever. Now we're going to substitute those little down arrows for the actual number of the beat. This is beat 1, 2, 3, 4. And during this rest, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to make sure that you're counting accurately when you have no values and when you have rest values. Super important to be able to know how to count those rest values, because if you're playing with a group of people, you don't want to come back in too early or too late. You want to be just on time. So you want to know, and also when a conductor is conducting, you want to know this is beat 1, 2, 3, 4, because this is always 1. That's always 2, 3, 4. You need to know where you're at in any given measure. So I've grabbed my trombone here, and I'm going to play this. Since we're only playing one note. Sorry for bumping the microphone. Only one note in first position. This will free up my right hand to be able to use the cursor here to point to where we are, what beat we are in the measure, so you can follow along as we play. So let's try number 1, and let's remember the basics for getting a good sound on the trombone. You want to take your thumb, spread your teeth that far apart, like that, so your lips and teeth are spread apart in the mouthpiece. When you tongue, you're going da, start the note with the tongue. And as you play each note, you do not want to move your jaw. You don't want to go dwa. You'll get this chewing sound that's pretty nasty to listen to. No one will want to hear it. So you want to make sure your jaw is still, no matter what instrument you play. So you want to do that. And what else was it? Oh, you do not, say your note is too low. Like this is the note we're supposed to play, the F. But say your note comes out like, that's too low. So what you want to do, here's your teeth, here's your lips. You're going to just firm up your lips up against the teeth to where it's a little bit firmer, a little bit tighter. And you're not going to pinch your lips together. You're not going to smile like that to stretch out, to get that tension. No, just as, say you got a hot bowl of soup and you want to cool it off. That same formation, just like that. Just an opening about yay big. And so you begin the note with the tongue. So let's try that. And da. So here's number 1. 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. All right. And just some reminders written there on the page for you. Now these half notes, number 2, these half notes are half as long as the whole notes. So this half note is only going to get 2 beats apiece, right? So this is beat 1 and 2, beats 3 and 4. Then we rest for 4 beats. So and we want to start each note with a tongue, and don't get lazy, and do not ever do this. Don't go with the back of your throat to start a note. You say, well, I'll just use the back of my throat. I did that as a beginning student. Don't do that. It's such a hard habit to break. Don't do that. Use your tongue because it's much more easy. For instance, if I use the front of my tongue, I can also try this thing later on called double tonguing, where I go tika, 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 tika. So here's using the front of my tongue. I'll use single tonguing where I go ta, 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 ta. Then I'll start using double tonguing like tika, tika, tika. Okay, so I can use the front part of my tongue and the back part of my tongue. Let me make sure that my microphone's not too loud when I'm playing. Don't want to distort the sound. So you want to use the front part of your tongue for right now. Da, da, or ta, ta, either one. So let's try this one. Number 2 here. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Don't move the jaw. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right. And you want to play these 2 half notes in one breath. Just keep a constant stream of air blowing. You'll go You're just interrupting that constant airstream with the tongue when you begin this second note. This note doesn't end, it's just that this one begins. All right. Now here we go. Now number 3. Let's follow that same little concept. When you play this little these 4 notes right here in this first measure, just play with one airstream, and you're just going to interrupt the airstream, that constant airstream, with the tongue, like da 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 da, or right. You don't want to go. You'll hyperventilate and fall on the floor. Then everyone will look at you. Don't do that. I'm going to say, so you want to go, and don't move the jaw. Don't go, dwa, 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 dwa. Don't do that. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And you'll notice when I'm not playing, I just rest the instrument on the bell on my lap, on my left thigh. Okay. So it's kind of suspended like that. And I've just a little bit of pressure here just to keep it in place. No stress on the hand at all. Number 4, we got quarter notes, mixing it up with some half notes, and then a whole note. 3 different types of note values. The values how long you hold it. So these are 1 beat apiece, 2 beats apiece, 1 beat apiece, just a whole note for 4 beats. Okay, you hold that out for 4 beats. So let's try this one, and let's see if we can play this first 4 measures in one breath, and then that's what's called a breath mark. It looks like a comma in English or in the language, yes, but in music, the language of music, it's a breath mark. It's when you take a breath. And if you can't make it that long, it's okay. But when you do breathe in, try to push your belly button out like that. Don't go and restrict your rib cage. You want to be able to just push out from your belly, because that's where you want to draw in all that air when that diaphragm drops. So here we go. So in your mind, you're going to be counting like I'm counting in my mind, because I can't count and play at the same time. So in your mind, you're going to count these notes, that what beat we're on, so you don't get lost. And another thing, when I'm reading music, you don't have to stare at every last little note. You kind of analyze the measure, you say, or the phrase. You look at this whole measure and read it as if it was a word in English or Spanish or whatever language. So you want to read it and say, oh, that's 4 quarter notes. I'm just going to go da, 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 da. And you can be looking ahead to the next measure. And that's one of the secrets to sight reading quickly, is to be able to, just analyze this whole measure and start executing it to play it while you look ahead to the next measure, keeping track of where you are. And you'll get to where you can just kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll just feel that in your heart, that 1, 2, 3, 4, at whatever tempo you need to be going. So here we go. Number 4 here. And so I'm going to analyze this in my mind. I'm going to try to play all this in one breath. If you can't, don't go, oh, I can't do it. No, just relax. It's okay. Just take a breath whenever you need to. Don't fall out on the floor. Ready? Number 4. So just take so I may go 1, 2, and then I may take a breath right before. Because if I keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't have enough time to breathe, I won't last that long. So I'm going to have to take a little breath here. So give me a break. Ready? So 1, and don't move your jaw. Teeth spread apart, lips apart. Don't mash your lips. Nice sound. Da. 1, 2, 3. Cool, huh? Did it one breath, one breath. This is 4 measures or 4 bars. Each one of these measures is a bar. And so this is what's called a 4-bar phrase, or a musical 4-bar sentence. A 4-bar phrase is like a sentence. I don't talk to you like that, unless, of course, there's a buffering problem over the internet, which happens quite a bit. But normally, I just say a whole phrase. I say a whole sentence. In music, we do the same thing. All right. So that's how that flows. Number 5. Ooh, yeah, number 5. We got a half note for the first two beats, then these quarter notes on beats 3 and 4, and I think you want, and it says continue counting in your mind. So you want to do that. So keep track of where you are and try to, like I said, to analyze these measures as you come to them and say, oh, this is 2 quarter notes and a half note. So I go da da da. Then you move on to the next line, the next measure. Ready, number 5. 1, 2. Yeah. Number 6. Okay, here's a half note rest that we were talking about earlier. It receives 2 beats of silence, 2 beats of sound, 2 beats of silence, 2 beats of sound, 2 beats of silence, etc. And then it kind of mixes up, does some different things right here. So let's play number 6. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you ever get to you're playing along and you hear this and you're playing or wah, that means you're probably not tonguing the beginning of the note. You're just blowing air. Do that. That will help to get those lips vibrating. It kind of needs that disturbance in the wind stream, just to, that explosive power with using the tongue to get those lips buzzing. So do that, and it'll make playing and starting notes so much easier. If you just blow air, the note might speak, it might not. It's going to be just like a toss of the dice every time you play. You're just so uncertain. Your life will be just terrible. Don't use your tongue. Use your tongue. Say do 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 do. Okay, just it's so much easier, so much less effort to start a note. All right, so be easy on yourself. Let's see, did we do number 7? I can't remember. Let's do number 7 just in case. I can't remember. I think I did number 6. Yeah, I just didn't do number 7. Right, here we go. Number 7. And 1, 2. And notice I've got just this straight tone from just keeping my jaw very still. And I'm not taking a breath like, oh, I need more air. In between these measures, I just kind of keep on chugging along. Just, right? And now we're going to do quarter note rest. This second beat here and this fourth beat right there, that's a quarter note rest. It lasts for 1 beat. So 1 beat of sound, 1 beat of silence, sound, silence, and so forth. So let's try this one right here. Number 8. 1, 2. I played that last 2 measures wrong because I ran out of mouse room. Need to move that out of my way. I had to reposition my mouse as I play through this. So sorry about that. Let me do the last 2 measures because that's there's a tricky spot too. Right here it is. You're thinking, I need to play a quarter note there, but no, there's a quarter note rest. Kind of try to trick you there, huh? So right, let's try this one. Starting from here to the end because I messed that up, and then that might have just thrown you off. But here we go. This part right here, this is measure 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5. So if your director, somebody says, start at measure 5, you go, there's the first box, measure 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5 is where you would start in number 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Much better. Okay. I had to practice. Right? Everybody needs to practice. Even Mr. Ray. Now, number 9. we've got a quarter note and then two quarter note rests. And you will sometimes see this because they won't stick a half note rest in the middle because composers, theoretically, you're supposed to be able to see the middle of the measure. It kind of helps in reading music. So you'll never see like one half note rest in the middle of a measure. You'll see two quarter note rests there. Even though, well, they could have done that. Well, no, you're supposed to be able to see the middle of the measure. So you can see this is the first half, second half. And so let's try number 9. And when you sight read a piece and somebody asks you to sight read for, say, an audition, you can just go, you can do what they call tizzling it or just kind of rehearsing it mentally, going, don't move, don't play an instrument, just go, like say, rest. So I just rehearsed that exercise number 9, and so that now I've already played it mentally. All right, and when it comes time to where we move the slide to changing notes, go ahead and move the slide and just do everything except making a noise on the instrument. So that's called just mentally rehearsing or tizzling through an exercise. So let's try number 9 now. I'm going to lock my slide just in case I forget later. Number 9. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 4. All right. Number 10, the last one. Let's see. I'm not going to take time to mentally rehearse it. What you can do is just kind of like scan through the line real fast to see if any strange little places that might trip you up. So number 10. 1, 2. Okay. So hopefully that will get you started on lesson number 5 for trombone, to how to count in your mind.